Hey guys, welcome back to the first episode of College Ball with J Dog after the season started. So we're gonna recap week 0. We're gonna look at the early games for week 1. We're 6 days away from the big Saturday, but we got games Thursday and Friday. So we're gonna cover those today. So we're gonna recap week 0, go over the Thursday and Friday games. I'll have my predictions as the week goes on. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Make sure you do that YouTube stuff for me. If you're not subscribed, please hit that bell. Go up, hit all. It'll help me out. And hit that like button. Get in the comment section. I didn't have the best week 0, y'all. I went 2 for 3 on my picks. 1-2, lost 3. So y'all flame away in the comment section. Kansas State, Iowa State. There's some questionable coaching in that game. The UNLV Idaho State game was way closer than the spread. Kansas, Fresno State was right about what I figured it would be. Hawaii and Stanford, I picked it wrong. And Western Kentucky handled Sam Houston like I figured they would. So, without further ado, y'all, let's get into it. I don't want y'all to think I didn't do an episode yesterday. If you missed the episode, I said from here on out, now that the season's here, I ain't going to be doing an episode on Saturday. I'm a Tennessee fan, but I'm a college football fan, so I'm going to spend my Saturdays watching all the games. We'll talk about them on Sunday, okay? Also, Wednesday, I've got me a new camera coming. It'll help with the video quality, all that stuff, so y'all bear with me. I'm just a broke man trying to survive with the family. So, up first, we got... Which one should we go over first, y'all? Let's go over Hawaii and Stanford. Let's go over the last game of the night first, y'all. It was a really good game. Stanford was driving to take a 6 or 10 point lead. Ran the ball, then decided to throw a play action pass. Picked off. Hawaii drives down. Then Stanford gets another chance. Gives it back to Hawaii. They go down, kick a field goal, win the game. So Hawaii covered the spread. I underestimated how far Stanford fell off. I knew they hired Frank Reich from the NFL. He was with the Colts. I know they had Andrew Luck helping out. He's their general manager now. So I figured maybe they could pull it off, but I was wrong. So I don't look for Stanford to win more than probably 2 or 3 games this year. I mean, you can't – I know Hawaii – they said Hawaii's won their last 8 home games. But even with that, Hawaii should never beat Stanford. I mean, that just shows you how far Stanford has fallen. This was a pretty cool story from the Hawaii-Stanford game, I thought. Kensei, however you say that name, is from Tokyo, where at age 20, he was a waiter at a Martin Steakhouse on vacation to the U.S. He saw an NFL game, returned home, and taught himself how to place kick via YouTube videos, and he hit the game winner yesterday. So this kid never played football before. Goes on a trip to the United States, watches the NFL game, goes back, teaches himself how to kick, and now he's kicking for Hawaii and hit the game winner. That's basically what college football is about. I mean, and Hawaii's quarterback was hurt. He was limping around. He still let him down. And the dude that taught himself how to kick on YouTube hit the game winner. I mean, that's a pretty cool story if you ask me. Up next, we got, let's go over Kansas and Fresno State. This one was not a contest really from the beginning. I mean, Jalen Daniels starred. He led them on a drive first thing, and they really never slowed down after that. When Jalen Daniels is healthy, Kansas wins a lot of games. I mean, they do. They won 31-7. Game was never in doubt. It was 14-7 at one point, and then after that, Kansas ran away. If you don't know about Jalen Daniels, I mean, he's a hell of an athlete, a hell of a quarterback, really. He stays hurt, and when he's healthy, Kansas wins. I mean, but that's the problem. He's hardly ever healthy. So if he can stay healthy this year, Kansas could maybe win, I don't know, 7, 8, even 9 games, honestly. He's really talented. Their coach, Lance Leipold, he's probably going to get a bigger job here soon. Kansas just opened a new stadium. They're investing in football, which is good. So that one was kind of a snoozer. It was a blowout from the get-go. This one right here, the spread was 10.5 on. This is one of the ones I won on. I won on Kansas too. That spread was 12.5, 13.5, according to where you looked. This one was 10.5. I took Western Kentucky, 10.5. They won by 17. It was relatively close for a while, and then Western Kentucky pulled away in the near the end of the third into the fourth. They pulled away. I think it was like 24-31, and then they scored the last 10 points of the game, something like that, somewhere around there. I didn't get to watch a lot of that one. I was watching the Stanford and Hawaii game. This game right here, y'all, UNLV, Idaho State. Whenever I bet on it, the spread was like 26.5, I think. It got all the way up to 30.5 before game day yesterday. UNLV won by 7. It was literally close the whole entire time. UNLV was down at points. Dan Mullen, if you didn't know, he's the coach of UNLV now. He said after the game that even though they barely won that game, that UNLV fans should be happy that they won and they should feel good. Me personally, I wouldn't feel good if that was my team. 30-point favorites. Literally at the very end of the game, basically, you have to win it. I mean, fourth quarter, it was still a contest. It was a contest till the very end. I thought Dan Mullen would have them a little more prepared. They gave up over 500 yards of offense to a Division II team, or FCS, whatever you want to call it nowadays. So I'm a little lower on UNLV than I was before the season started, but that don't mean that they can't get it together. You can have a bad opening game and improve as the year goes on. I mean, Oregon struggled last year with a couple of bad teams to start the season. Well, one bad team, and then they played Boise, and Genty ran all over them. Then they just got better as every week went on. Their offensive line got a little better. But I'm a little further down on UNLV than I was to start the season. I don't think, not a fan of their quarterbacks. They got Alex Orji from Michigan, who couldn't really win that job last year. And they got Calandria from Virginia, who's probably going to be the starter from here on out, because he did play a little better than Orji yesterday. And last but not least, it was the game of the day, y'all. I mean, Hawaii and Stanford was a hell of a game. Had a walk-off field goal, but neither one of those teams are going to be doing anything. This was the game everybody was excited for week 0. You got Kansas State, Iowa State. They call it Farmageddon. First thoughts on this. Quit playing college football overseas. I'm not even a huge fan of neutral site games, but I'd rather have a neutral site game than a game over in Ireland where the field's trash. They can't keep the paint on the field. Almost every time we play over there, it's pouring down rain. Now, it could rain over here too, but we have systems in play for that. Most fields can handle rain here. That field over there was absolute garbage. It was a very sloppy game, which is kind of expected when you're traveling that far across the sea 2 or 3 days before a game. Second half, they settled in. First half, there's 4 fumbles. If you didn't watch it, Kansas State fumbled the first punt. or muffed it. It bounced off of Dylan Edwards' hands. Dylan Edwards, one of Kansas State's best players, running back. He got hurt from it. Then literally 3 or 4 plays later, Iowa State goes to toss the ball to the running back, goes straight through his hands, gives it right back to Kansas State. Then Rocco Beck fumbled one, and then running back for Kansas State fumbled one. That's all in the first half. There's literally 4 turnovers in the first half. As you see, it's 7-7 at halftime. Iowa State finally scored, then Kansas State scored the next drive, and then it was pump, fumble, pump. I mean, it was literally very sloppy. The second half, they did settle in some. Very questionable coaching from Chris Kleiman from Kansas State. You're down 3 with like 10 minutes left, somewhere around 10 minutes, 8, 9, 10 minutes, somewhere around there. You're down 3. Your defense has played good. You only gave up 17 points at that point. And you go for it, 4th and 1 on your own 29. And you get stuffed. And Iowa State scores a touchdown, takes a 10-point lead. Kansas State scored directly after that, but it was literally the difference in the game. I mean, you could have been down 3, punting the ball. Your defense played their ass off all game. You gave up 17 points in the 4th quarter. And you go for it on 4th down on your own 29. In a huge matchup, really. I mean, those are 2 Big 12 title contenders. Why he didn't punt that ball and trust his defense that played their ass off all game is beyond me. Let me know how you felt about the call if you watched the game. I thought it was an absolutely terrible call. I think he cost his team the game with that call. That's just my opinion. So I picked Kansas State in that one. I just took the money line. Just thought they'd win. Chris Kleiman made sure they didn't. I mean, they still could have lost that game, but that decision just finished them off. I mean, it dug their own grave. I mean, it really did. I'm sure if he had that decision back, he'd probably make a different one. But hindsight's 2020. I just feel like that was a dumb call. You're on a quarterback sweep, not a quarterback sneak, nothing like that. A quarterback sweep out of shotgun on 4th and probably a half a yard, maybe a yard on your own 29-yard line. Absolutely terrible call. I think Chris Kleiman is a hell of a coach. I think he just had a lapse in judgment, I guess you could say. I mean, that's about the best way I can put it because I do think he's a good coach, but I think he definitely let his team down with that call. So up next, we're going to go over the Thursday and Friday games for week 1, y'all. I'm not going to go over all these. There's probably a couple missing from these. There's just a few that I'm interested in that I think y'all might be interested in too. First one is 5:30 Thursday. Boise State and South Florida. I think that's a sneaky good game. Boise's favored by 6.5. They're going to South Florida. I like Alex Golesh. He's Tennessee's old offense coordinator. Our offense really hasn't been the same since then. You can say it's because he left. You can say it's because the quarterbacks we have. Either way, it's not been the same since he left. I had a rough week 0. I might start week 1 off rough too, but give me South Florida to cover. I'll take South Florida plus 6.5. I'm not going to make predictions on this one. On this show, that's just one I'm feeling right now. I think that'll be a really good game. I think the over-under is 63.5. I think that'll be a high-scoring game. Neither team probably has the best defense. I think Boise's overrated this year without Genty. I mean, he carried them last year. Rutgers and Ohio, I mean, that could be an all right game, maybe. Probably not. That North Carolina State and East Carolina game, that could be a decent game, possibly. I think the spread on it is 12. If North Carolina State's not any improved this year, that could end up being a close game for a while at least. It's not really going to – I mean, it's not one I'm really going to sit and watch all day. But If it's on, I'll watch it if there ain't nothing better on. If you catch my drift. Another big Thursday game. I like the USF Boise State game at 5:30, and then Nebraska and Cincinnati. I think they play at 9. Yeah, they play at 9. It's put up or shut up for Nebraska this year. A lot of people's already jumped on board with Nebraska. Those are the two games I'm probably going to tune into on Thursday, honestly. I want to go over this little stuff about Nebraska real quick while we're talking about them. If you don't know who Dave Portnoy is, Dave Portnoy is from Barstool Sports. If you know, you know. He put this out the other day. He's a Big Ten homer. He's a Michigan fan. He donated a lot of money to Michigan to help them get Bryce Underwood. He said Nebraska probably could win the SEC, to be honest. And me personally, I think Nebraska will be improved this year. Raula's in another year in college. They added a couple guys in the portal. But they should probably win more than 6 games for the first time in 7, 8 years before they start talking about winning the SEC, y'all. And another thing, I see why they canceled their game with Tennessee in 2026. So I want to go over that real quick. It definitely makes sense why they canceled it. Because their cupcake schedule, y'all. I mean, without Tennessee on the schedule, they got Cincinnati, Akron, Holy Cross, Michigan. That's their first probably real test is Michigan. Michigan State, Maryland, Minnesota, Northwestern, USC. That's a pretty good game. UCLA, Nico or not, I don't think they're going to be worth a dime. Penn State, Iowa. There's literally possibly 9 wins on that schedule right there. Next year, they're supposed to play us. Whether or not they will, well, they're not. But I see why they backed out of it, so they could keep that easy schedule. Matt Rhule wasn't lying. Why would we play a hard game when we could play an easier one? Basically what he said. He's trying to make the playoffs. He don't want to play Tennessee because if they lose it, it could knock them out of the playoffs. That's his exact words. But back to them against Cincinnati. The spread's only 6.5 for Nebraska. I think that's one you could probably get in on, to be honest. That's the Thursday games. Like I said, there might be 1 or 2 that's left off of the list I just showed y'all. Friday. That's crazy. Kansas turns around and plays on Friday after playing Saturday, week 0. Honestly. Illinois up there. They play Western Illinois, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Western Illinois. I know that's cut off because that's, I mean, look at that spread. 46.5. Not worth watching, not worth talking about. If you're an Illinois fan, you'll watch it, obviously. But anybody else, probably not. Let's see, Auburn and Baylor. That could be a really good game. Baylor's supposed to be improved. They got Sawyer Robinson at quarterback. He was pretty good last year. Auburn's hoping they're improved with Jackson Arnold at quarterback. I'm not convinced yet. That game could maybe convince me. We'll do a prediction show on these games maybe tomorrow or Tuesday, y'all. We got plenty to cover this week. We got games Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I mean, we're locking in, y'all. Week 0 is a nice little appetizer, and now it's time for the full course, y'all. I mean, the full course is here. It is officially full course week. The appetizer's over with. It's time to throw down on some football now, y'all. Georgia Tech, Colorado. Georgia Tech's favored by 4. I like Georgia Tech in that one right now. I'm not giving no predictions yet. I'm just saying UNLV, Sam Houston. Now, I wouldn't be too interested in that one if UNLV didn't just out lose to an FCS team. And this still has UNLV as 13-point favorites. That'll probably drop. So if you're a betting man, I'd get on that number quick because that's not going to hang around long. Not after yesterday. Not after they gave up 500 and some yards in Idaho State. It's not going to hang around long. So if you want, you better get on Sam Houston plus 13 if you're a betting person. I would jump on it right now, honestly. I probably will. So that's your Thursday and Friday games, y'all. Week 0 was fun to watch. It really was. There's 2 good games. There's some snoozers. But hey, we got our practice in. We kicked back. We watched football all day. Some of y'all probably didn't watch all day because of the boring games in between. Really, some of y'all probably only watched the first game. I seen online some people tuned out because of the fumbles and stuff. Not me. I waited too long. I was ready to watch football. It was still an entertaining game to me. So, I personally am just ready for week 1 to get going, y'all. I'm ready for Saturday. I mean, we got my Vols. I wish the Vols didn't play at the same time as Texas Ohio State. That drives me crazy. I'm going to have to bust out the 2 TV setup, y'all. I have to put the Vols on the big TV, Ohio State, Texas on the little TV, kick back in the living room, have a good time. I mean, there's great games all day Saturday. There's good games Thursday, Friday. Sunday, you got – who does play Sunday? I can't remember. We'll go over that tomorrow. Here's the last FPI for the season starts, y'all. Tennessee's moved up to 8. We was down like 13 at one point. They might be feeling better about Aguilar. I don't know how all the computer stuff works. So you got Texas at 1, which about everybody has Texas 1 right now because they're so high on Arch. Georgia 2, Bama 3, Ohio State 4, Penn State 5, Notre Dame 6, Oregon 7, Tennessee 8, A&M 9, Ole Miss 10, South Carolina 11, LSU 12, Florida 13. If you're an SEC hater, you're not going to like that. If you're a Big Ten sunshine pumper, you're not going to like it. I mean, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 of the top 13 teams are SEC teams, y'all. The Big Ten has 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 of the top 15. Who's better top to bottom? You even go on down. There's way more SEC teams down the list than they are Big Ten teams. And I don't make the rules. I just pull up the stuff. I think there's just 5 Big Ten teams on there and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 SEC teams. So 12 SEC teams in the FPI top 25 compared to 5 from the Big Ten. Nobody's even arguing that the Big Ten's not caught up at the top. But from top to bottom, the SEC's still king. It'll probably stay king. I honestly hope anybody but a Big Ten team wins the title this year at this point. Because I'm tired of hearing about how great the Big Ten is, all because they won 2 titles in a row when the SEC's won probably since 98, they probably won 20 of the 25, 27 national titles, y'all. I mean, somewhere close there, at least 17. I do know at least 17. Right here, this was posted yesterday by Hayes Fawcett. Don't let the day distract you from the fact that we get these matchups next weekend. Now, that's what I'm talking about. It's time to lock in, hit that subscribe button, get all your news from me. We're going to be going over all these games. I mean, look at this slate. Notre Dame, Miami, Texas, Ohio State, LSU, Clemson, Alabama, Florida State, Tennessee, Syracuse. Even on Monday night, you got TCU in North Carolina. Is that the greatest game in the world? No, it's Bill Belichick's first game, though. Like I said, it's time to lock in. It's time to subscribe, get in the comment section. You can roast me for my picks last week. I went 2 for 3. It's not very good. We're going to bounce back this week, though. You got to get a feel for teams early in the year, y'all. Think that'll wrap it up for today. week 0 had its booms, it had its busts. The first game and the last game were definitely the best ones. They were both close, come down to the end, really. It was nice to watch some football, y'all. And we're officially 4 more days away from watching more. I appreciate y'all tuning in. As always, go Vols.